Welcome everyone to the Our Crypto Talk Show, the first one for February, and I am pleased and displeased both to tell you that we have a lot of items here on our agenda today. A lot of stuff has happened over the past week, and we are sitting here on a Saturday discussing whatever happened. With me is Tanishk as always, and we'll be beginning with the meme coin frenzy that has begun back in 2024 but is not stopping at all. So, Tanishk, let us begin with the meme coin discussion. What do we have on our plate?
Hey Sahil, glad to be back on our own talk show. It feels like home, but seriously, do we ever get to talk about anything other than meme coins? I mean, at this point, I feel like we should, launch our own OCT, Doge, Pepe, Cat 69 or something.
No, that is
Maybe
not going to
then
happen.
maybe then we'll finally get a break from all this. But who are we kidding? Let's dive into this madness. So, all right. So, let's talk about the latest trend of politicians launching meme coins and maybe shilling meme coins. I mean, what's next? Maybe Putin dropping some Putin coin or something like. I think they've all decided that what their country needs. It's a meme coin, I suppose. So, what do you have to say about the latest, star of the circus, the Argentina's president Javier Milei
I
and
don't
his
think it
Libra
was
token?
his own token as he mentioned later, but as you mentioned, shilling a token as the leader of a nation is not a small thing. And I think he's not someone who doesn't know about crypto. He's been a pro Bitcoin, pro crypto president for a while now. And I think he knows the responsibility that he has when he shills something like this. So I don't
All right.
get the fact. I even read Justin Sun's tweet. He just tweeted a couple of hours ago about the responsibility that leaders have when they take such an action. But I think I was in a way prepared for this because Trump did it, right? And then Melania did it as well. So I was expecting some countries to follow up. We saw that Central African Republic token. I'm still not sure. No one, I think, is still sure whether it was an AI manipulated video or the account was hacked. But again, with all due respect to Central African Republic, it is a relatively smaller nation economically and in terms of population. But what happened over the last 24 hours with Javier Milei's shilling and then the dumping of the coin of the Libra coin going from 4.85 billion to 180 million, which is a huge crash, not a small crash, but a huge crash. And a lot of people, especially after the initial run that Trump had, the Trump coin, I mean, had put in money into this Libra token, expecting it to follow a similar trajectory, but it did not. So, in my opinion, I think from whatever the tweet has come out later about clarifying his position, I don't think that is enough. If you are a president of a country, you're not a Hollywood celebrity or something that you can just get away with it. But again, I would like to know your thoughts on how the different presidents are taking it up, especially after Trump. A lot of countries are following suit.
Yeah, I mean, like you mentioned, all these politicians, it all started with Trump and then Melania and even, the guy with Jail Stool, who is that? The owner of Barstool Sports, he also had this meme coin uh, going around. So, yeah, like you mentioned, that Libra, claiming Javier Milei actually tweeting about the token. So he has certain kind of responsibilities right there, he actually called it as a private project to actually boost Argentina's economy. I don't know how, Spoiler alert, it did not do that. So, yeah, I mean, it was just, I think these politicians are just ruining their reputations, and I feel if you look at the on-chain analysts, they also found out something that was a total mess. I have a post regarding that. I'll just quickly share that with you. Just a second. Can you see my screen, Sal?
Yes.
Yeah. So this dude actually, put that out. Like the top traders on Argentina's meme coin, they made 6 to 7 figures from an initial investment of $0. And I'm not sure how
Hmm.
is that possible. They obviously they transferred it from somewhere else, and that's kind of fishy because a big leader, the president of a country, does not actually tweet something like that. It's not something like, my friend had my phone, he posted that. It's not that. It's a big responsibility out there. So yeah, I found this one very interesting, and because uh, the creator and the big holder of this particular token were probably the same person, and the liquidity pools actually drained like a cheap bottle of Campa Cola or something like that. So yeah, like you mentioned, it rugged really bad, and Milai, he just deleted his tweet, and he was like, my bad, I didn't know, so sure, Javier, I mean, maybe it was your friend who convinced you to invest in their revolutionary startup or something, I don't know what that's all about, but these people are actually, acting very weirdly. And I just have this lesson for you people, simple. That's don't trust politicians with your crypto. And meme coins are already a gamble, and when you add politicians to the mix, it's just as good as playing Russian roulette with a fully loaded gun. So that's my take on the entire meme coins and politicians involved. So yeah,
With meme coins, see, another thing that, of course, was on agenda this week was broccoli, right? When we
yeah,
talk about meme coins, again, this might be an unpopular opinion. There might be backlash on this if people listen to us till the 8th minute of our podcast, that is. But I was not happy with how uh, CZ conducted himself with the broccoli scenario. I think he
right.
already knew it. I think he already, if he did not, then I don't know who on the planet would know what the repercussions would be. Because he was being asked the same question again and again for days at least, if not weeks, about his pet, an image of his pet, the name of his pet. What else was he expecting? A collage sent to his home? That was not going to happen. I think he knew very well that a meme coin fiasco would be triggered from his actions. And given that CZ has always been a supporter of the utility narratives, it was very surprising for me to see that he did what he did. And again, there are people who are claiming that okay, he's a person, he should be allowed to post about his pet. But there are people like me who are a little more skeptical, who think people with power and people with a certain following should behave in a certain way. The same as we talked about Javier Milei, right? Had it been a normal person, had it been you sharing your friend's startup, it had been a different thing. But when it is a president or if it is the founder of Binance, then you have a different set of responsibilities to the industry. And especially CZ, who he knows how strong his following is. And we could see the reaction to his action on Cake, right? I think Cake shot up very quickly. I think it was one of the highest earners in the
Gainers.
last 7 days. Yeah, in the last 7 days, he knew what was happening here. But again, if we continue doing it, I'm not against memes in any way or form, but these are fraud memes, right? CZ hasn't launched a broccoli token. These are people taking advantage of the information and launching tokens under which many people lose money eventually. So I had a tweet. I think I'd sent it to you if you can open it, uh, which was uh, I think it was by 0x Shual is his username. If you can open it, and I think he has been one of the critics of the action. And if you go through it, I'd like to know your opinion on what the tweets say. It is a set of tweets actually. There are two tweets. So if you can read it and give me your.
Right. I saw one of these quotes from CZ. I guess Crypto Nova posted it yesterday. So yeah,
Mhm.
the CZ Binance back in 2024 is like, I'm not against memes, but meme coins are getting a little weird now. Let's build real applications using blockchain. Absolutely agreed. CZ, you are a guy who supports utility projects. That's why we, respect you and we love you for that. And 13th February 2025, we'll post the dog pic in 3 hours, 8 p.m. ish Dubai time. Dog pic as promised, please, sir. And like you mentioned, Sahil, CZ actually knew what he's doing. And see, if it would have been on another day, or another time, I would be okay with that. I would have been like, okay, it's just whatever he's doing is just normal. But then when the Binance Smart Chain actually pushes this narrative of creating your own meme coins on Binance on four, so on the same time, CZ is actually trying to do all this stuff, like I'll post the dog pic in 3 hours and stuff like that. So that actually, I can join the dots, CZ. I've been in this industry for not too long, but I know how it works, and you especially, know how it works. So I know, if people actually reach up to what second it is, 12th minute of our video, they'll be like, these people are just talking nonsense. Who are they to actually speak about it? But that's the harsh reality we saw with the pump down fund saga. Like, that actually ruined up the whole cycle. The proper flow of money, it kind of gets troubled with the meme coins when they actually. And I am actually not very shy and like, accepting the fact that meme coin season is the least important thing at this point. We don't need any more memes, we don't need any more dogs, we don't need any more cats. I'm just frustrated with all whatever it is happening, and coming from CZ is like even worse.
Heartbreaking.
Not heartbreaking, but it's worse.
What was heartbreaking was CZ. If people go back a minute and look at those tweets, what was heartbreaking was the spelling of pick, PICK.
PICK,
What
and
is
he
the
didn't
dude
even
even
correct
asking for?
us.
That was
Like,
heartbreaking for me. Anyhow,
mm,
let us not take any more time on this particular point. We have made our point across. I think we both are on the same side when it comes to people with responsibilities not taking their positions that seriously, maybe, or taking their position seriously and doing things that are legal, that are okay to do, but which have certain repercussions in the future. So, yeah, let's move to the
so
next
Sai,
point. Which, yeah, yeah,
uh,
please.
yeah. So just talking about meme coins, I had
Hmm.
one more post. I guess you shared it with me earlier. I just had a look.
Sure.
I just want to share it with the audience. I guess CZ is at your home. Yeah, right. So yeah, talking about meme coins, you send this over, right? And Litecoin has the highest chances of getting listed
Ah,
as
the
an ETF.
2025 ETF odds.
Yeah, and
Litecoin
and
isn't a meme one. Come on.
the biggest meme coin is at the top, man.
I am not a supporter. Everyone who supports and holds Litecoin, this is not my opinion. This is Tanishq's opinion on
Have you
Litecoin
have
being
you
a meme.
actually have you actually seen their X page? They are acting as a meme coin since the last 3 4 years.
I think
You want
that
me
is
to
a
share that?
marketing stunt, right? That is a marketing stunt from their end, and I know that I know I've seen their marketing over the past
Right.
few months. But yeah, this actually, when we look at these numbers, again, this was the next item on the agenda on the ETF. We have had a great year with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is where it is mostly due to the institutional adoption and ETF that happened back in 2024. I don't know why Ethereum is not following suit. That is a different case altogether. But I think with the projects and the odds of approval in 2025, if I had to take my pick, I would go for XRP. I think they have done really well, especially since the change in government, even though they are at 65% here. But I was going through some stats about value in transactions transferred over the past few months, and they have been doing very, very well, competing with stable coins, competing with USDT in actually providing utility uh, to the to the people. And here, I think with Dogecoin, maybe Elon Musk's pressure is putting it at 75%. Otherwise, I don't think it is that easy to get an ETF for a meme coin. With Solana, I think they are a great L1, there's a lot of stuff going on Solana, but again, mainly being used for memes, or famous for memes at least, which, in my personal opinion, pulls them a little behind in this race. But I think any one of these four coins, maybe a different project altogether, could go and launch a spot ETF this year. But if I had to put my money, I'll not put more than 10 cents, that is, but I'd put it on XRP. What about you?
I have a different opinion on that,
Hmm?
So, like you mentioned, like XRP is the one you're going for, and yes, that's amazing. Many, companies are actually filing for different ETFs. We have Litecoin ETFs, we have Dogecoin ETFs, we have H bar ETFs. But then I feel there are multiple ETFs going around for multiple alts right now. But however, I feel the only ETF which I consider as a big catalyst, is the BlackRock ETF, and they are not interested in any one of those except for Solana, I feel. And I think uh, uh, the third ETF from their end would be the Solana ETF, and that would be a major catalyst in driving Solana, you know, uh, up there. So, what do you think about that? Like, uh, how do you see the BlackRock ETF amongst the VanEck, the 21 shares, the Grayscale ETFs?
See, when it comes to Solana, I think I made my point clear. I would love a Solana ETF, definitely. You know, I have held Solana in the past. I won't disclose if I hold it still, but I have been a huge Solana supporter for long. Along with Ethereum, you don't need to hate one or love the other, as most of the people do in the industry. But again, I
Right.
think Solana's reputation is a hit or miss, in my opinion. And when it comes to the SEC approving the ETFs, the government looking at Solana, I think their reputation might bite back. But again, as you mentioned, when it is money calling, then the governments definitely go with the money over the reputation. We've seen that in the past, and maybe that will happen with Solana as well.
Yeah, I mean, I feel XRP was a big bad champion back in the days, when things were not that crypto pro in the industry. But it has cooled down in the last 2, 3 years, and now when the ETFs are starting to, take action, I feel the projects who are hot right now would actually edge over XRP. But XRP has that credibility, like you mentioned, they're working well, and they're an old, uh, establishment. So yeah, I won't mind either, but yeah, I feel Solana has an edge over XRP at this point, and it would be the third Black Rock filed ETF, and it would be a major catalyst. I'm sure of that. And yeah, I just hope Litecoin does not, actually.
It is at 90% odds,
I know
according
that,
to Bloomberg.
but according to Bloomberg, yeah, I would just stop there, right there, not go ahead. But yeah, just for the people who are still watching this at 15, 16, 19 minutes, if you ever get a DM on X from the Bloomberg team saying that they want you on their podcast, please do not trust them. And that may be a scam message. And I would really want you guys to know that please be safe out there. The digital scams are on their all time high right now. And you should actually be very wise and careful while you use the internet. So yeah, that's more or less what I had to say today. Sahil, do you have anything else to add?
Yeah,
Anything else you want to talk about? Yeah.
I had a last topic of discussion, uh, and I'd like to join in and bridge this conversation with that, with the online scams that is happening. Uh,
Hmm.
I wrote an article. We can put it in the description if you can,
Okay.
on social engineering hacks that happened in 2024, and the number one social engineering hack was from the Coinbase support. I mean, not the real Coinbase support, but people pretending to be Coinbase support, calling you up or sending you emails, and then through fake Coinbase websites, phishing in the technical terms, they
Hmm.
transfer your tokens to some other wallet, You will never know it. The website will look exactly the same as Coinbase. And I think the numbers were devastating. Uh, in fact, Zach XBT had put a very long thread on it. That was the basis of my article. So, yeah, going from there to the final topic of our discussion today, that is Coinbase's numbers. They released their numbers, I think, a couple of days ago, and I was going through those numbers. I've sent you the tweet as well, if we may have it on the screen. And these
Yeah,
are,
it's understandable.
if we look at it, net revenue going from 2.9 to 6.3. These are not dollars; these are $1 billion, by the way, as Jason explains in the last line. Even I was a little taken aback by these numbers.
What's
This
that
is
growth,
huge.
man?
This is
Yeah.
huge. This is the second largest company in crypto, going 115%. And it was only Bitcoin that had actually erupted in 2024. Let us be very honest. Ethereum, if on an year to date scale, I don't think it did anything in 2024, anything of significance. Solana did well, but it was mainly Bitcoin that drove these numbers, at least. Right? Transaction revenue went to 4 billion. Uh, you may look at the monthly transacting users even increased by a million, 8.4 million monthly transacting users. And we know that mainly Coinbase operates in the United States. Elsewhere we have Binance that has the major share of the users, but these are brilliant numbers in terms of adoption. And I think, I personally, even though there are a lot of people who criticize Brian Armstrong and some people support him, I have been a big supporter of Brian Armstrong all the way. Even before the FTX fiasco, when you were team Sam Bankman. I'd like to just put it out to everyone in the uh, whoever's listening here. But I think he has been a very vocal supporter, and I don't think Coinbase has done m- as much harm to the community as they have done well. So seeing a crypto company posting such revenues of 6.6 billion and a net income of 2.6 billion, it is very difficult to have a positive uh, revenue to expenditure. We know that in the crypto industry, or any industry for that matter, especially for unicorns. So I think this was great to see, and shows how much the industry has matured and how much we are going forward when it comes to the adoption. What do you think? Uh, what has impressed you the most about these numbers?
I mean, Sal, all the numbers are terrific. I would not, I would say something that would add something to these numbers. They're already great. But what I would like to say is that, like you mentioned, these people, the Coinbase people, have actually, cracked the crypto game. They know how to serve people. They know the psychology behind, the masses, and they're actually doing that, and they're doing that spot on. And I'm just, I, I can just praise these guys, whatever they're doing. Like, they started with the base chain. It's not even a year, right? And they're doing so good. They're doing so well. They exactly know when to actually bring out what. And I feel, even with the insurance part for the customers, the 24/7 phone support and whatnot, they're actually uh, the Amazon for the regular guys. They're there for the people. So it's tough to actually compete with Coinbase in these terms. And yeah, that's that's
I think
that's more or less what I have to say. Yeah.
eh, what you mentioned here, just the on the screen, if the users are able to see the central black block, base is the number one L2 on Ethereum. I think it is competing head to head with Arbitrum in terms of total value locked from last I researched, but they've mentioned number
Mhm.
one, so maybe on a different criteria, I don't know. But still, number one or two, definitely in the top two, base with Arbitrum, and that is huge. And on top of that, they're not just putting people into their centralized exchange. There is the Coinbase wallet. I use it, you use it, we know that, right? And they're not just pushing people into their business, but they're pushing people into the industry, into adoption. If you want to use a decentralized wallet, come and use the Coinbase wallet. If you want to access their services, their security, Everything that they have to offer, use Coinbase as a centralized exchange. And now if you want to use Ethereum's chain, and the best part about the base chain that I really really love, they don't have a token. They use Ethereum as their gas fee at a much 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 lower level because of being an L2, and they don't have a token. They don't want to make money from this.
Through that
Again,
business, yeah,
L2s,
right.
yeah, they genuinely doing it for adoption so far, from what we know. Again, we never know in crypto, but fingers crossed, and I hope Coinbase keeps leading the charge, and again Binance as well, and we see much more adoption in 2025. The better for their business, eventually better for the entire industry as well.
Yeah, that's absolutely amazing. And they also have the USDC, and like the best part, like you mentioned, if you want to trade on a decentralized exchange, use our wallet. If you want a centralized exchange and a 24/7 support, if my grandma's you want to, she wants to buy crypto, she can call them and I am not understanding this. How do we do this? Yes,
RIP
ma'am, we're
Tanishq
here to
grandma.
support. We're here to support you and all. See, whenever I read about Coinbase, I read about their customer support, 24/7 customer support on top, because they're there for the people, right? And I want to talk some business part of the things. They have different tiers, they have different subscription models, and they exactly know how to price them. They have a $300 subscription model for people who don't trade more than $10,000 per year, and most of the people don't. So they exactly know, and the people get the value. It's value for the customers. It's a win for Coinbase. It's a win for crypto. So hats off, Baldy. Brian Armstrong. So yeah,
Kudos to
I think
Coinbase, and I think we should wrap it up now before we take it too far for this week.
you know, yeah, exactly. And I think I should just quickly drop Jason a follow because this is some great content right there, Sahil.
Yeah, Jason's the founder of Blockworks, one of my favorite companies in the industry. I always admire Blockworks, and we work towards being in the same league as them. So yeah,
Someday maybe,
definitely,
yeah. Sure.
definitely follow him.
Just followed him from our crypto talk account, and yeah, it's been amazing, Sahil. After a long while we had this conversation, and I really enjoyed it myself. I didn't think of it as like I'm doing something, but it just a normal breather talking crypto with friends, and yeah, let's keep on doing this every week or so, and like, let's
Hopefully, there are three people who listen to this, except your
listen
mother.
to this. Yeah, so I guess it's time we wrap it off. And thank you everyone for joining us today. It was a pleasure. If
Stay
you,
safe from your politicians, guys.
yeah, exactly. Stay safe from the politicians and stay safe from the online scams that are happening these days. Like I mentioned, please stay safe and stay awake. And yes, Black.